I'll be honest, there's other games where things don't fall your way and you get one for 40 or whatever in those kind of games. And I think that you've got to ride the high when things fall your way, because the game's pretty fickle and there's a lot of days where it doesn't, but you've got to trust your processes and keep delivering, and hopefully more often than not you're on the side where you pick up the award or doing a bit for the team. Makes all the other days worthwhile, really.
What was the mood like when Suryakumar Yadav was doing what he does best, I suppose?
Yeah, I'm not a massive cricket watcher, so I haven't really seen him play before, but he plays some amazing shots shots that I haven't seen before. That was an amazing knock. It was one that deserved to be on the winning side for sure, but I think I was taking those early wickets. The pressure was on him, and he kept hitting the ball all over the place. But we know we were quite close with. We got his wicket or taking wickets at the other end, but we weren't that far away.
Was it always a case of just trying to keep calm? And did Josh do anything to sort of like
I think Josh was amazing. He was, I kept looking at Josh and couldn't really tell the situation of the game from when we were on top to when we're chasing balls some overs. So that's some credit to him and one of his great qualities that he will bring as a captain. But I think in a high-scoring game, it's easy to get carried away with emotions, and I think that's almost a skill in itself. As much as bowling slow balls and whatever, I think it's almost about keeping your head and keeping all your emotions under control and not getting wrapped up in everything. Because obviously, the Indian fans today it's been amazing to play in front of them. They're so animated, and I think just because of the volume that they produce, you can almost it can be intense and you can get wrapped up in it. But I think we kept our cool today, and on to the ODIs.
I was going to say, it must be pleasing to get Josh's first win as full-time captain as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Last two performances weren't ideal from us, but I think again you trust the process, and I think it's a brand that you play that when you come to tournaments it will pay off. Being brave and aggressive, and always taking that front foot and the aggressive option. I think it's something that it's a long-term goal. It's not necessarily about this series. It's almost the T20 World Cup in October. Where are we going to be and how are we going to play to be successful in that?
No, go ahead.
Yeah. First of all, I just wanted to ask you about the decision to bat first. Obviously, Glenn's been so good at chasing. What was the reasoning for that?
I have no idea. That's a conversation that important people have.
With all the conditions here today that were absolutely perfect for batting, once Suryakumar Yadav got on that roll, was there ever a moment as you were coming sort of towards the end that was a little bit nervy?
No, I think you just isolate every ball. I think there's a famous saying in cricket that every ball's an event, and I think it's very true in T20 cricket, especially when you come down to trying to restrict the teams trying to chase your score down. It's top of your mark, stand at top of your mark, you set fields and you bowl and you take into consideration the fact that he's now set and he's playing well. Similarly, when they get a single and you've got a new batsman on strike, it's a totally different ball game. So I think it's just the isolation of each ball, working out on that pitch what was going to be the most effective to restrict or take a wicket.
Mike, go ahead.
Reece, just on the lengths today, I think there's many sort of hard lengths into the pitch. Can you talk us through the planning that went into that?
Yeah. Well, our batsman came off. Obviously, we set a decent score, but they came off saying that middle of the wicket and changing paces in the middle of the wicket was the hardest to face. It's not. I thought the boundaries were a decent size for Trent Bridge. I haven't seen that big actually here, but obviously it's a fast outfield which makes up for it. But I think taking everything into consideration, and Malas, who spent a lot of time out there, said that was the best way to go. And like everything, you just got to try and commit 110%, and again, don't get wrapped up in the emotions. So if one goes, you go to top of your mark and you work out what the next best one's going to be. So we'll just commit to that. So yeah, middle of the wicket and change up.
And there's obviously a few scores up for grabs on the T20 side in terms of bowling attack. Do you feel like you acquitted yourself pretty well this year in Barbados and in this series?
Yeah, I don't know how many of the last. Yeah, well, since this year, I think I've taken all the opportunities that have come my way. But obviously, new coach, new captain, there's new people to try and impress. So in my head, I think it's back to square one and try and sort of, impress the right people. But ultimately, it's about getting wins as a team and trying to, with every game, how we get one step closer to try and win the World Cup in October.
We'll each Mike, Matt, and we'll do two down here.
Reece, well bowled. One or two pundits describe that pitch as concrete. Is it a pretty thankless task trying to bowl on a surface as true as that?
Yeah. But again, it's there's so many deliveries nowadays in T20 cricket with knuckleballs, cutters, Yorker, whatever. And again, I think it's just standing at the top of your mark, chatting over to some guys that have got probably more experience than myself, and coming up with what's going to give them a single or what's not going to give them a boundary option, etc. So I think, yeah, bowling these days is a bit of a thankless task, but I think you just got to put your hand up, be brave, and I think the hardest thing nowadays is that one day it doesn't go your way and you're the villain, and you have to get yourself up for it for the next game to try and sort of be the hero. So I think that bowlers nowadays have almost got to learn more mentally about T20 cricket, perhaps more than sort of skill.
Right. Harris, how do you sum up the series as a whole, and what's the positive finish today? How close are you to where the team wants to be?
I think it was really good this series actually. Obviously, we've always been trendsetters in the last few years of how to go about the game. And I think it's interesting when we come up against other teams, like we came up against West Indies in February, we came up against India today. It's interesting how other teams have sort of adapted to counteract the way that we've always played. So I think that's valuable information going into the World Cup. Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah. You said you haven't watched Suryakumar Yadav playing a lot, but when he was playing with all those unconventional 360 degrees, did he remind you the shades of A.B. de Villiers?
Sorry?
Did he remind you A.B. de Villiers, Suryakumar Yadav with his unconventional?
Did it remind me of anyone?
Yeah. A.B. in particular?
No, I don't think honestly, that was like so unique. Like, I haven't seen or come up against anything like that. So there's some special shots that I don't know how they played.
Over the years, we have seen that this Indian top order can be a little bit vulnerable against left arm seam bowling, especially with the new ball. So, was there any discussion in your game planning that these guys can be, a little bit of in the wooden?
Yeah, I don't think you can think too much like that. I think you have to, personally, the left arm, if they weren't, or if the numbers or stats suggest they weren't vulnerable, it's almost still, you have to go with the mindset of how am I going to get in the game.
Absolutely.
There's other teams where that might be the case. Maybe India, people might say that the stats suggest that left arm's more better, but I think it's not a given. You still have to perform and bowl and know your skills.
Awesome, yeah.
Thank you.
Reece, well played first, and so I want to ask, like India had won both the matches quite comprehensively. So the Indians had gained that momentum. Do you think this was a much needed win, considering the fact that ODIs are also coming up, 3 ODIs, so England needed that momentum back in their favor?
Yeah, possibly, but then again, there's going to be some more new faces in the ODI squad, so you can always say how much of that momentum sort of count. It's going to be back to level. I think that's the nature of the beast, however, in T20, that there's no prizes for being close to the score almost. So it's going to be like win or bust a lot of the time, and I think we're seeing that a lot more. But they're bigger wins just through people trying to chase down whatever they said.
Thank you. Cheers.